What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and I am back for another Kyoryuger slash KingOhger video. And, yeah, I have not bought any of the other DX roleplay items from KingOhger, but I did decide to pick up, or slash, Stormy bought it for me as a gift, the King Gaburicalibur, which is the KingOhger version repaint of the Gaburicalibur from Kyoryuger, which it's the same mold, but now has a new coat of paint and is beautiful red and allows you to transform into King Kyoryu Red. It obviously says DX Gaburicalibur, King Gaburicalibur. It comes with a new Judenchi, which I don't have any Japanese Judenchi, so that's part of the reasons I wanted to pick this up. I really wanted to see and compare these to the upcoming Memorial Judenchi. So I'm very curious about that. So this is my first Japanese Judenchi. I sadly do not have the original Gaburicalibur to compare, but this is all I got. On the side, we got King Kyoryuger, which it says Gaburincho in the back, which is just pictures of the toy. You got more pictures of just the full action Kyoryuger, along with him with the bugs. King Kyoryu Red, which I love that suit. It looks so good. On the back, does all of those. You can also do that. I can't read these. Again, it just almost feels like it's like buy DX full action Kyoryuger. And then on the bottom, don't eat it. Don't eat the sword. On this side, you got another picture of King Kyoryu Red, and again, looks so good. Yeah, that's pretty much the box. There's, like, I've kind of just been holding off on getting the DX versions of the Ohger calibers and stuff, mostly because I know they're gonna do Memorial Editions most likely, and hey, if they don't make Memorial Editions, I imagine, because the show had only freshly ended, getting an Ohger probably won't be that expensive, but I love, and if you watch my Kyoryuger video, you know I talked about I love Kyoryuger. I like the sounds in this a lot, and honestly, this might just be a sword I keep at my desk, and I'd still probably buy the Memorial version because it'll probably come with a new Judenchi or some kind of sound functionalities, and having a 1-to-1 scale sword is awesome. So, I might, but this probably will just stay at my desk, and it will be what I like to mess with from time to time. Like, that's kind of just how it's gonna go. So let's get the actual toy out of here. It doesn't have a whole ton of functionality, but it has a whole lot more than the original from what I've researched. Like, again, I don't own it, but I've looked into with the original Gaburicalibur, and I will tell you about that when we get the sword actually in here along with the Judenchi. So let's get the box out of here. And here's what comes in the box. We got the K Judenchi, or the KingOhger Judenchi. And we got the King Gaburicalibur. So we're going to take a look at the Judenchi first. And I'm not going to lie, like, having not had these, I've had the American ones. I bought these because it came with the little rubber dinosaurs, and they were super cheap, so I bought them. So if you want to know the difference between the US Dino Charge Judenchis and the or Dino Chargers and the actual DX Judenchis, they are bigger, like way bigger. And they have two completely different, like, systems. Like, this one has 4 screens to get to it, and this one's an instant click and switches. But sadly, it does not have the glow-in-the-dark feature the original Judenchis have, but it has this nice picture of KingOhger, all blacked out, and then you brave in, and you get KingOhger all colored up. And I love the eyes painted, the plus and minus symbol, you got the KingOhger logo. I know what this does in the original DX, not Gaburicalibur. It doesn't really, that didn't really have any functionality or reader. But in the original Gabu Revolver, it just kind of laughs, and I kind of find that fitting. Sadly, I do not have that toy, or I would show it off. But yeah, like, it feels so satisfying to click. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like a pen click almost, but like, or like one of those number counters. Just feels satisfying to click. And we have that. And again, that's that. That's all the comparisons I really want to bring in outside of before we get into the full sounds. Let's compare it to something like the Ninjark sword. And the Ninjark sword is very much like a little bit bigger. And to be fair, if you go by the blade, it's like a butter knife. And you can even hold the blade down. But yeah, the blade on this is not that big. Meanwhile, this is a sword from 10 years ago, and it's only been recently where we've seemingly got slightly bigger ones, not massive ones. But yeah, like that, like my hand. Like this is like a pocket knife. And we got the King Gaburicalibur, and I think it looks great, and I didn't realize until I had it in hand that this part was like a brownish color, and I actually really do like that a lot. I love the red metallic paint they have right here. Like, this just looks so good. And if you know the original one, you know it originally could fold up. This does not have that functionality. You cannot fold it into being able to connect with the Gabu revolver. Like, this has no combination with anything. It is just meant to be this on its own. But you can still, because it still has some of that functionality, that's why you can flip over the snout. So if you really wanted to make it a little bit smaller, or maybe if you wanted to pretend and just say, I could shoot flares outside the nostrils. Like, I don't know. Like there's really no reason to do that with this toy, but they kept it. You obviously have the pump, which is cool. We will get to that in a little bit. You got the trigger. And yeah, so this used to be a button. So, and then obviously you can open the jaw up and down, and if you really look in there, there's no reader, obviously. And if you look on this side, you get all the electronics, the copyright. Oh wow, I think they took off the 2012 copyright. It did come with two LR44s, so it does come with its own batteries, and it's still telling you do not eat him. Do not eat the sword or the batteries inside of it. It comes with a little pull tab, but it also has a nice on and off switch, which I always love it when they have those, because a lot of the time they don't do that anymore. So if you turn it on, you got an LED in the eye, and you get that classic sound. So if you pull the trigger, if you pump it, nothing. You open, you get that classic sound. You can shut it and just get a. But we can put the Judenchi in after we braved in and just slide it in there. Drop it in. Oh yeah, get that sweet standby music. Oh yeah. And you have to pump it. I keep wanting to push the trigger. You got to pump it. It's so interesting to hear like the two voices intermixing, because Kyoryuger has such an iconic like voice for their stuff, and I'm glad it's still there, but I think it's super funny to hear it right next to the KingOhger stuff. But honestly, it really does work for me. And you don't get a new slash sound, same one. But if you pump it, and if you remember the original one, this is how you get a final attack. And I'm going to talk about the original one before we move on. Like, that's pretty much what the original one would do. You put a Judenchi in, and you could do one final attack, and that's it. And then you could combine it with the Gabu revolver. This has so much more sounds. It's not a whole lot, like I said, but it's way better than the original Gaburicalibur, in my opinion, from what I see. And so, obviously you get the initial transformation, because now it's a transformation device, obviously. So that's pretty cool. I love that standby music. Obviously, you pump it and you still get a standby music for a final attack. But if you do it multiple times, you get a different standby music. Like so, if I pump it once, and then I pump it again, you hear the music mix with the KingOhger one. That's awesome. And if you pump it 3 times, that's 3 times. Beat gets so much faster. So, I don't know if it's like a different attack each time, but I feel like I like that it at least has 3 different standby attacks, so it can feel like 3 different attacks. So you pump it once, you can do a light attack, twice, you get a heavier attack, 3, you get the finishing attack, obviously. Like, I don't know if that's how it actually works, or if it's just like, no, you just get 3 different standby musics, but I like it. I like how they did it. But if you hold it up when you go up there, you get the sounds from Gaburicalibur. So you can do the combination, and you push it up. Press the trigger. And that was something that was never in one of the weapons before, at least as far as I'm aware. Like this, like that was originally in the DX Gaburicalibur. I don't know why I couldn't say his name for a second, but I think that's really cool, and I love that I could have that on standby at any time I want. But you can obviously activate it to be the KingOhger ones. But you also do got to be a little bit careful you don't hit it twice, or you'll like skip the sequence. So if you hold it up, it'll immediately go into... I think it immediately, if you hold it down once, it goes into regular Kyoryuger. You do it a second time, you're going to KingOhger. I don't think you can pick. I think you always have to go Kyoryuger and KingOhger. And that's how it's done. That's how you know it's done. Press the trigger again. And that's cool. And if you don't want to do that whole song and dance, you can immediately just... You don't have to do the whole thing. So, that's kind of fun. Honestly, that's it for the sounds. Not a whole lot of sounds, but I really do like them. And if you open up the mouth, just little barfs of the Judenchi. And that's pretty much it for the King Gaburicalibur. It doesn't do that much. And so, if you're not a big fan of the sounds, or you're really only nitpicking, if you're getting all the KingOhger swords, pick it up. Obviously, pick it up. If you're getting all the KingOhger swords, pick it up. If you're a Kyoryuger fan, pick it up. That's why I picked it up. I wasn't picking up the other DX KingOhger swords, mostly because I'm just gonna get the memorial ones. Like, these are kind of dinky. I just love the sounds in this, and like I said, this is gonna be on my desk. This will sit right next to me. I will be making Kyoryuger sounds whenever the hell I want. I'm gonna annoy Stormy with it. I know I will. Like, I like this a lot, honestly. I dig it. I like the sounds. I love the standby music. It's great. It's a fun toy. It is just fun. Is it something as good as something like the full-action Kyoryuger? I don't think so. I think that's the better toy, in my opinion. I think it has a lot more going for it. Like, this has a decent amount of sounds. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Crown Lance. Like, I was almost tempted to pick that up because the Crown would just be cool to have, and it has, like, a ton of sounds, along with, like, I think you can make all the combo sounds for KingOhger, like KingOhger Extreme and all of those. Like, I think that was awesome. I do kind of wish that we could have gotten the other Kyoryuger sounds, like if we could have gotten Western, Kung Fu. Like, I don't know if we need to do like Bakuretsu or like Gigant Kyoryuger, like I get that, but like I think it would have been nice if we could have done that, but I also get why, because it's really been only shown off to do regular Kyoryuger, and King Kyoryuger. What would be the point of adding others outside of just doing it? And I bet you they're going to save that for the memorial version if they are going to do that. Honestly, I do hope they kind of do that. Please, because I would love a sword that just has all the Kyoryuger combo sounds. But what do you guys think of the DX Gaburicalibur, King Gaburicalibur? Again, I like the red color too, but I am a fan of red. Now, a purple one, that'd be awesome. Maybe. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the new Judenshi? I understand some people are upset that this doesn't do anything, but this show was over 10 years ago. They couldn't plan 10 years ahead. But yeah, no, I really do dig it. I can recommend it, especially if you're on the fence. I think it has a fun amount of sounds, and I'm glad I picked it up. Well, somebody, Stormy offered to buy it for me, so it's extra nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Either way, I'm glad Kyoryuger, I was allowed to talk about Kyoryuger for a little bit. I know when the memorial stuff, I will definitely be doing videos on those. So, Kyoryuger will not probably be leaving the channel, but this is sadly probably all the stuff I will have for a little bit to talk about. So, tell me your guys' favorite things down in the comments. Do you guys want to get a memorial one of this? Are you guys just going to wait for that? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on the sword? Like I said, I really do like it, so overall, I think I can recommend this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you guys have any other suggestions of what you think I could do for videos, I'd like to hear you guys. What do you guys want to see? Like, are there any kind of older toys you want to see? And hey, if you want to ask me if, like, it's like, oh, could you do a video on this? And I don't have it, I will tell you. I'm like, oh, I don't have it. But it's like, I really want to hear what you guys want to see. Like, I have some other ideas outside of just toys, what I want to do. So, I'm really open to suggestions. So, tell me any guys. You guys can tell me any of your thoughts or suggestions down in the comments. I really would appreciate it. And I guess thank you so much for watching. And I'm sorry if I was rambling a little bit. And yeah, until whatever I do next. Bye.